Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds and another edition of the Red Alert Broadcast Live. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into all of this, the usual disclaimers. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let me tell you guys what is coming up for today, Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025. We're going to get into this absolutely BS ruling. An Islamic knife attacker was spared jail. And you will not believe your ear holes when I explain to you the situation and why the judge let him off. It's insane. The second thing we're going to get into, has Sadiq Khan just been caught covering up grooming gangs in London? I mean, it doesn't really surprise me at this point, which is quite saddening in a way, but yeah, he might just have been caught. What's going to happen next? We're going to get into that. Then the third story for today's Red Alert broadcast, Starmer is toast. Starmer has a £730,000 problem. The eclipse. Three pads Rainer. Oh, yeah. This is an evolving story that is changing and being updated by the hour. So I'll bring you everything that we know up to date at the moment. And then, do you know what? We're going to finish on a little Trump, okay, guys? Because President Trump just dropped truth bombs all over the UN. I've got the clips. It's glorious. So that is what's going to round out today's Red Alert broadcast for Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025. I want to just say an extra special thank you to everyone that's tuning in right now to this Red Alert broadcast. I'm thinking of doing them more regularly. I'm having fun actually going live and interacting with you guys. So if this is something that you want to see more of, more live Red Alert broadcasts, then please let me know in the live chat. And if you're watching on the replay, whether on YouTube or on X, then drop me a little message in the description bar below. Let me know. Do you want to see more Red Alert broadcast live streams? I'd like to do more of them, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, let's say hi to a few of you before we kick off the first topic for today's Red Alert broadcast. Hey, Negu Mums against the Child Snatchers. Hey, for sunnyish Scotland. Well, hey up from not that very sunny Yorkshire. There you go. And said, they said, I've had bacon and pasta and chips today. Nice. I love bacon, all right? Does anyone else love bacon? I'm just asking the question because Negu Mums just brought it up in their comment, okay? So if you love bacon, then let me know in the live chat right now. If you're watching on the replay, if you love bacon, let me know in the comments down below. I want to know how many of you guys out there that's watching right now loves bacon. How many of you love bacon as much as I do? Let me know. Let me know. Lady Tammy says, I want to see you all the time. 80s Neon Synthwave says, more please. Buzz LA says, yes, definitely, Steph. More Red Alert broadcasts. Okay. Ada Wongs, thank you so much for that very generous £10 super chat. Say more of the nerds. Let's go. Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much. And special thank you to everyone that's able to, of course, send me super chats because that's allowed me to reinvest back into not only this channel, but the rest of the Alterverse as well, including my main one, Steph the Alter Nerd. If you guys missed it, I gave you a little bit of an update. The newest addition to the Alter Nerd Studios. Yes, I finally was able to get that Elgato webcam. So thank you so much to everyone that was obviously, able to, of course, send me super chats like this because it definitely helped to reinvest back into the studio. So thank you so much, you guys, for that. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I like my bacons crispy. Billy loves bacon. Buzz LA is like, bacon. I love it. I love it. Rich is like, bacon every morning. Bacon is everything, Terry is saying. Ada Wong says, never tried bacon, so I wouldn't know if I like it, unfortunately. You're missing out. Try it. It is gorgeous. Cut the fat off so it's healthier. But, oh my goodness, bacon is life for me. It really, really is. Okay, so yeah, with that being said, let's crack on with the first topic for today's live stream. So yeah, here we go. An Islamic knife attacker was spared jail. And you guys, you will not believe the reason that the judge gave that spared this Islamic knife attacker jail. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimers. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and as a disclaimer, I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it with this. We all remember this clip right here.
The man's come out with a knife now. Boss, look here, look.
Go for me.
Look. God, he's got a knife. Go.
Fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Burn the Quran.
Go. He's got a knife as well.
No.
Oh, you got a knife, man. Come with the
fucking idiot.
Wait, don't come to me.
Go for me.
Listen, I'm just filming, yeah?
Burn the Quran.
No, you shouldn't be. Listen.
My religion. You don't burn Quran.
Ah, what are you doing? Come on, man. What are you doing? You're standing out in public road with knife. Exactly, what are you doing?
Fucking bullies on the floor! You stand up for him, you fucking bully! Fuck you up!
You don't burn fucking.
He just did. He's done it. Unbelievable. He went into his residence here. He went into here, took a knife, come out and started attacking him with a knife. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So you had a free speech activist go out into the middle of London, right? And make a protest by burning the copy of the Quran. The gentleman that you've just seen there went into his house, came back out with a knife and attacked that gentleman that was doing that protest. Now, you'd think, do you know what? I know exactly how this is going to turn out, right? Because based on our laws and based on our legal system, it usually goes a little bit something like this. You have a knife and you attack someone with a knife, you go to jail, yeah? That's the law, right? And that's what's supposed to happen. Yeah. Instead, this happened. Attacker of the Quran burning protester is spared jail. Now, let me be very clear on this, okay? The attacker saw the protester burning the Quran, went into his house, got the knife, and came out and attacked the protester with a knife. So this was premeditated, right? He thought this through. And he went through so many steps to go back into his house, to find the knife, to get the knife, to get to the door, to open the door, to exit the door, to go to the protester and then attack the protester with a knife. There were so many steps between the start and the end of it where that Islamic knife attacker could have turned around and says, do you know what? What am I doing with this knife? I'm not going to attack him. But he did. And he got spared jail. He didn't even go to jail for it. Okay, so here's the down low on this. So, Muslim man who attacked someone burning a Quran outside the Turkish consulate in London has been spared jail. And so Musa Kadri here saw Hamid Koskan setting alight the text and shouted, "I'm going to kill you," before slashing at him with a knife. So this is the thing, right? It's not just that the attacker attacked him with a knife. He also threatened his life. And again, I do think I'm still living in the UK here. And I'm still under the impression that death threats are against the law. Even more so when you attempt to carry him out, right? With a freaking knife in your hand. And so let's go on. He later told police he was protecting his religion, so that Crown Court heard. Judge Adam Hiddleston handed Kadri a 20-week prison sentence, suspended for 18 months. This judge, right, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, needs to be investigated. And this whole ruling needs to be looked at. And needs to be not only overturned, but replaced with a harsher ruling. Let me put it to you this way, and I'm just going to ask a question here. I'm just asking for a friend, right? Those in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or on X, please answer me this. What if it was the other way around? What if it was a protester who was of the Islamic faith burning a copy of the Christian Bible, whichever version, okay, whichever version. And you have then a British white man go into house, come out with a knife, attack said Islamic protester with the knife and say, "I'm going to kill you." Do you think we would be seeing a similar headline? Attacker of Christian burning Bible protester is spared jail. Do you think we would see that headline? Hell freaking no. No. No, we would not. I'm going to say it out loud. No, we wouldn't. Instead, the headline would be far-right, Islamophobic, racist, whatever, is given 3 years in jail for attacking Islamic protester. That's what we would be seeing if it was the other way around. And anyone telling me otherwise, you need your freaking heads examining. Because this is another clear example of two-tier justice that is in this country right now. Also, this is a clear example of blasphemy laws coming into the UK through the freaking back door. Last time I freaking checked, I live in the UK. I don't live in Iran. I don't live in Afghanistan. I don't live in Iraq. I don't live in a freaking country that is governed by Sharia law. We should be able to criticize any religion, burn any book we freaking want, right? Without the legal system coming down on us like a freaking ton of bricks. Every other religion is fair game. But it would be absolutely insane, right? If anyone in this country turned around and said, well, Islam's not treated special. Yes, it is. Here you go. Yes, it freaking is. It is. Another example, the government at the moment is still carrying on with that working group to develop a definition of Islamophobia. Okay. How about a definition for Christianophobia? How about a definition for Buddhisphobia? How about a definition for any other religion phobia? Let's keep the same energy, right? Oh, no. No. We keep the same energy for everyone else apart from Islam. Excuse me? Oh, it gets worse, right? So, Kadri said to Koskan, burning the Quran, it's my religion, you don't burn the Quran. It's our country. We can burn whatever book we want. If it's safe, right? In a form of protest. Yeah, we can. We can. You want to live in a country where burning the Quran is illegal? Move to a country where burning the Quran is illegal. Go. Bye-bye. Good luck with the rest of your freaking life. We should be able to burn any book we want in protest without threat of the legal system coming down on us like a ton of freaking bricks. And other people thinking that it gives them license to go in, come back out with a freaking knife and threaten to kill said protester and then attack with that knife. You live in the UK, you don't live in Iraq, you don't live in Afghanistan, you don't live in Saudi Arabia, you do not live in a country that is governed by Sharia law. You want to live in a country governed by Sharia law? Be my guest, but it ain't the freaking UK. He later told the police he was protecting his religion. Okay. Well, this is where I get a little bit confused because they all say, right, that Islam's really a religion of peace. Yeah. Islam is a religion of peace, guys. A proper religion of peace. All it is all about peace. That's it. Islam's a religion of peace, guys. Islam is a religion of peace. Yeah. See the contradiction in that? Like, seriously? It's a religion of peace until you criticize them, until you protest against them. Then it's not the religion of peace anymore. Let's get this straight, guys. But yeah, he was saying, I was just protecting my religion. Greg Unwin, defending, said this was a response to a very unusual situation that Mr. Kadri had demonstrated regret and remorse for. His reaction was in the heat of the moment to what he perceived was a deeply offensive act on a holy book. Okay. You can be offended all you want. That is your right. What isn't your right is being offended to the point where you think that level of offensiveness that you're taking gives you license to then go to the person that's the source of that offensiveness and attack them, not only with a knife, but threaten to kill them as well. Be offended all you want, but it doesn't give you license, therefore, straight after that to then attack. Piss off. Not a chance. And he doesn't feel remorse at all as far as I'm concerned. Why? Because he said, I protect my religion. That's what he said to the police. I protect my religion. He doesn't feel remorse. He's freaking proud of what he did. He's proud of what he did. If he did feel remorse, he'd turn round and he'd say, you know what? I was misguided. I thought I was protecting my religion, but it was the wrong way about it. That would indicate remorse and being sorry about what he had done. But no, he turns around to the police and says, I protect my religion. Someone who says that, do you think they're full of remorse and they're sorry for what they did? Not a freaking chance. They then say, his reaction was in the heat of the moment to what he perceived was a deeply offensive act on a holy book. Now, Coxon, okay, the protester, he was convicted in June of a religiously aggravated public order offence. He appealed that with the Crown Court. Coxon had argued that his criticism was of Islam in general rather than its followers, but District Judge John McGarver said he couldn't accept this, finding that Coxon's actions were highly provocative and that he was motivated at least in part by a hatred of Muslims. His case prompted campaigners and some politicians to say it was an attempt to bring back blasphemy law. But the government said there's no blasphemy laws in England, nor are there any plans to introduce any. Yeah, you really believe our Labour dictatorship at this point? Not a freaking chance. Not a freaking chance. This ruling is another step of Islamic blasphemy laws going into the UK through the back door. Burn any other holy book, you're going to be fine. Burn the Quran, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get done for it, and the person that attacks you, but actually breaks the law, oh, they just walk free. They don't get any jail time at all. So, forgive me if I don't believe the Labour dictatorship and two-tier Keir turning around and saying, we're not reintroducing blasphemy laws at all. Yeah, this is very Orwellian here. This is the government turning around and saying 2 + 2 = 5. Trust me, bro. Yeah, okay. When someone says, trust me, bro, the opposite is what you need to do. You don't trust them and you run away as far as you can in the opposite freaking direction. Now, the Free Speech Union, they've responded to this story saying the following. This decision sends a green light to any Muslim who wants to enforce an Islamic blasphemy by taking the law into their own hands. The court is effectively saying that if you attack a blasphemer with a knife, he will be convicted of causing you harassment, alarm or distress, and you won't have to spend a day behind bars. Musa Kadri has been let off with a suspended sentence after repeatedly slashing Hamid Koskan with a knife while shouting that he was going to kill him. Kadri had been enraged that Koskan was protesting against Islam. Hamid is still living in hiding, having been convicted of a hate crime for burning his own copy of the Quran. Whilst the attacker gets to walk free. Make that make sense now. Make that make sense now. Koskan's really the one in jail here. He's the one in hiding. He can't live a free life anymore. He did nothing wrong. All he did was protest. He protested in a way that the attacker didn't appreciate and was offended by. Okay, you take offence, that's fine, that's your right. The moment the attacker stepped the line was when he went in, grabbed the freaking knife, came back out and attacked the protester with it. Yet he's the one that's walking free on this earth without a care in the freaking world. And the protester, he's in a kind of jail himself now. Even though he's not properly in jail, he's now in hiding. He can't walk free anymore. This is the country that we're living in right now. We are being conditioned, right, through the legal system, through the institutions, through the Labour dictatorship. We are being conditioned to be scared of criticising Islam. We're being conditioned. Guess what? I reject that conditioning. Because I recognise my right to free speech of expression to criticise anything, anyone, anything I want. I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. If I want to criticise Islam, I'll criticise Islam. If I want to criticise Buddhism, I'm going to criticise Buddhism. If I want to criticise Christianity and all its branches, I'm going to do the same there. I'm going to criticise any religion I want and choose. But the UK is basically saying now, criticise any religion you want apart from Islam. No. I don't play that game. Piss off. Piss off. And for those that are saying, oh, well, you're just biased for your own religion, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'm atheist. I've been atheist for decades, guys. Now, just because I'm atheist doesn't mean how do I put this? Yes, I'm atheist, but I still respect religion. I still respect people's freedom to follow and believe whatever they want to follow and believe. Simple as. But just as I respect people's freedom to believe what they want to believe, follow who they want to follow, this, that, and the other, yeah? That should be reciprocated back. For them to respect my freedom to criticize whichever religion I want. As simple as that. I am not going to be conditioned to be fearful to criticize any religion, especially Islam. Not a freaking chance. So here, we've got some reactions. Tom Harris saying, it's not illegal to burn a book, and neither should it be. It is illegal to attack anyone with a knife, and to do so in defense of some bits of paper is utterly unjustifiable. Yet this fool gets a suspended sentence. I'd say criminal. Darren Grimes says, if you or I pulled a knife on someone burning a Bible, we'd be locked up in a heartbeat. Exactly. Do it to defend Islam and you walk free, and people wonder why Britain feels broken. Yet another case that leaves us all with the view that there is a two-tier justice system at work here. Daniel Hannon, say the wrong thing online and you'll get locked up. Actually attack someone with a knife and you'll avoid jail. How is this not two-tier justice? Exactly. Exactly. Julia Hartley Brewer. Thank goodness he didn't write a tweet about attacking someone with a knife, eh? I laugh at that, but yeah. This is a sad state of affairs that the UK's in. Let's go with two more reactions here. So Sophie Corcoran. Lucy Connolly, white British woman, mean tweet, she gets 30 months. Hadish Kabatu, illegal immigrant, child rape, he only gets 12 months. Musa Kadri, Muslim man, assault and wielding a knife and threatening to kill, gets a suspended sentence. Ricky Jones, black man, Labour councillor, calling for people to have their throats slit, not guilty. There's no denying we have a two-tier justice system in the UK. None at all. And let me leave you with Nick Timothy before we get into the second topic for today's Red Alert broadcast live. Britain has Islamic blasphemy laws. It is now beyond a doubt. Hamid Koskan was convicted for desecrating a Quran. Musa Kadri attacked him with a knife for it. His justification, I protect my religion. His punishment, a suspended sentence. For all those that are turning round and saying, we don't have blasphemy laws here. We do not have Islamic blasphemy laws here in the UK. You're either lying to yourself and lying to others, or you're absolutely deluded, ignorant, and you need your heads examining. It's as simple as that. Now, for those watching live, whether on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. We're going to get on to the second topic in a moment. Has Sadiq Khan just been caught covering up grooming gangs in London? Yeah, this is not good for him. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But for those watching live, if you haven't done so already or on the replay, make sure you do subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on Political Nerds. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Steph Alter Nerd for more details as to what's really going on here in the UK. Like, share, comment down below on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet, but for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces, and until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the first topic for today's Red Alert broadcast live. We are going to get into the second one right now. Sadiq Khan, has he just been caught covering up grooming gangs in London? There's been all this denial that London does not have grooming gangs, this, that and the other. Yeah, who really fell for that BS? Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimer. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it first and foremost with my favourite councillor, Susan Hall. Now, she confronted, right, the deputy mayor of London over the existence of grooming gangs, right? And yeah, this is what happened.
Can we just concentrate on these grooming gangs? Some of us read the article in the Express where former Detective John Wedger stated that he was threatened by senior officers in Scotland Yard for his investigations into grooming gangs in London, stating that he would lose his home, his job and his children if he came forward with information regarding these grooming gangs. Do you have confidence that whistleblowers will be supported in calling out cover-ups of child sexual exploitation? Because I've spoken to the victims. I find it very difficult to believe that it happened a few years ago and is not happening now. I hope to God I'm wrong.
I am completely unequivocal in stating that we should take all forms of child sexual abuse seriously.
Okay, can we just concentrate on these grooming gangs? Not spread it around everything else. Can you give us your assurance that somebody will look into this specific thing?
Can I say, first of all, I commend the importance of a victim-centred approach in this. I deeply understand that, and especially with children, and we must do all that we can to support them,
So
which
do you
is
think
why
you're being told the truth? Are you confident that you're being told the truth, that there are none of these grooming gangs that we've heard of in the north? Are you absolutely convinced that you are being told the truth?
You see, maybe she and Sadiq Khan should have read this article, because it shows that for all their denials and attempts to avoid answering the question directly in other cases, a Freedom of Information request actually shows that they are fully aware that grooming gangs exist in London. So here's the Express article that was referenced earlier on. And so here, I smell a massive cover-up about London grooming gangs. It's all starting to unravel. So the first cracks are starting to appear in what was always a ludicrous narrative. Sadiq Khan has taken the position that there are no reported cases and also no indication of grooming gangs in London. Now, for those that have been here on Political Nerds for a while now, you'll remember I did an amateur linguistic analysis video on a clip of Sadiq Khan at the London Assembly being questioned about grooming gangs in London. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he responds by saying, what's the definition of grooming gangs? What are grooming gangs? In other words, he's acting stupid and trying to kind of lawyer his way out of it. It's ridiculous. How is he going to lawyer his way out of this now, right? So the article goes on to say, that seems a crazy stance to take given the grooming gang scandal which have occurred in towns across the UK that are a fraction of the size of the capital. It stands to reason that London, which is connected to some of these criminal groups, would have issues too. In fact, I know it's the case because I've interviewed victims of London's grooming gangs and spoken to whistleblowers who say grooming gangs in London have gone ignored. Now we're starting to see the signs that rather than there being no indication of a London grooming gang problem, any evidence that the opposite might be true is now being hidden from the public. Hounslow Council, they say, probably by accident, revealed in a Freedom of Information request that it knew of a 3-year police investigation into a grooming gang that affected one of its residents. However, when they were asked about grooming gangs in June, the Labour Council said it had no concerns. Sadiq Khan has said they do not have a grooming gang problem in London. Hounslow Council just freaking admitted that they're investigating a grooming gang. Confronted with the information that they'd let slip in the Freedom of Information, Shantanu Rajawat, and if I've mispronounced that name, I do apologise, the local authorities leader clarified that they'd not disclosed the case because they didn't want to create panic, going on to reveal that a lot of cases are dealt with by a specialist team within the Met and that behind the scenes there was a lot of work going on. I'm calling BS on that. They didn't let us know about the case because they didn't want to create panic. No, they didn't want us to know about the case because they're still freaking going along the lines of, we don't want to be seen as racist. We want to protect the Muslim community. We want to protect the monsters of the grooming gangs. Victims, child victims be damned. So I don't believe this BS when they say, yeah, we didn't want to create panic. That's why we didn't disclose the case to the public. You believe this BS? If you do, you need your heads examining. The reporter who wrote this then says strange that when they were asked previously, the response was no concerns then. Even more repulsive was their subsequent statement explaining the Freedom of Information, which came straight from the victim-blaming playbook. Like I said, protect the grooming gang monsters, child victims be damned. The reporter says they decided to let everyone know the investigation was in relation to a single Hounslow child, adding that the investigation was subsequently closed and we understand that no criminal charges were brought. Why is that? Why is it that no criminal charges were brought against this investigation into a grooming gang in Hounslow with one child? Why is that? I want to know. Now, the police may have done everything according to the book, according to the letter, and not done anything wrong. That could be the case. Quite frankly, though, I live in reality. And I know that in reality, no way in hell did the police, when they investigated this grooming gang's situation in Hounslow, do everything by the book. Not a freaking chance. Not a chance in hell. We have seen too many examples of police forces covering this shit up. Protecting the monsters of the grooming gangs and child victims be damned. I don't trust this investigation at all. They lied that it was even... They even lied, right? They lied about the existence of the investigation in the first place, turning around and saying, no, we don't have a grooming gang problem in London. When they clearly knew that they did because they were investigating one. So for them to turn around and lie about the existence of an investigation into a London grooming gang in the first place, you think I'm going to trust that the investigation was above board and completely correct? Not a freaking chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. The reporter says, essentially the line was, nothing to see here, just one kid and the charges were dropped. Use an alleged victim of child abuse as a shield for their lack of transparency is bad enough. But Hounslow's stance also ignores the clear imperatives for making these things public. So, going around full circle, right, before we get on to the third topic, this shows, right, that for all of Sadiq Khan's denials and attempts to avoid answering the question directly, right? Are there grooming gangs in London? What is the extent of the problem of grooming gangs in London? What are you doing to tackle grooming gangs in London? For all his denials and attempts to even avoid answering those questions, right? This Freedom of Information request blows Khan out of the water and proves once and for all he's fully aware that grooming gangs exist in London. My question now is, Why is he denying it? Why hasn't he once, when asked the question about grooming gangs, directly answered it, saying, yes, there is a problem with grooming gangs in London and this is what we're doing to try and tackle it? That's my question now for Khan. Why does he continue to deny and even avoid answering the questions regarding grooming gangs in London? Why? What's his aim? What's he trying to achieve in his denials and attempts to avoid answering these questions? I'm just asking for a friend here. Why? With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are on YouTube and X. I'm not done with you guys yet, but if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube on Political Nerds. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow me at Steph Alter Nerd so I can keep you guys up to date as to what's really going on here in the UK. Like, share, comment down below on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. Why do you think Sadiq Khan continues to deny and in other areas even attempt to avoid answering the question when it comes to grooming gangs in London? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the second topic for today's Red Alert broadcast live. We're going to get into the third one in a moment. Keir Starmer is toast. He has a £730,000 problem that eclipses £3 Rayner. We're going to get onto that in a moment. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Let's have a gander here. So, let's see. Katie Mariner says, just got here, what have I missed? Well, so far, you've missed Sadiq Khan being exposed for his lies, being caught covering up grooming gangs in London, as far as I'm concerned. You also missed the first story for today's Red Alert broadcast, which is, yes, an Islamic knife attacker was spared jail, and you will not believe the judge's reason as to why he's not behind bars right now. But you can always rewind and rewatch it to your heart's content any time you want, any day you want. Thank you so much for tuning in halfway through the Red Alert broadcast. We're going to get on to the third topic in a moment, Kate, so please do stand by. Jill says, I've said all along, Khan was the kingpin of the grooming gangs and Starmer will stand by his darling boyfriend. Khan united the kingdom. Well, the evidence is out there that the establishment, the institution, the government, the police force have all been in cahoots to cover this thing up. They're literally protecting the monsters and the child victims be damned. Yeah. Enough's enough. I'm done with that bullshit. I really am. Yeah, and social services are complicit 100%. You bet your backside they're all involved, big time beyond belief. Yeah, and a day of reckoning is coming for all these mofos. A day of reckoning is coming. A day of legal, peaceful reckoning. I do have to be very specific on that. Because they will be found out in the end. And they will be brought to justice. Every single one of them. Because the public will is that strong that it will happen. We just have to continue to push for it now. Craig Mawson says, Steph, we need Trump in Downing Street. Well, stay tuned because Trump is going to be the final topic for today's Red Alert broadcast. And it's a fun one. So we're going to have a bit of a laugh on that one. Robert Hudson, thank you for your video. Bridlington, East Coast of Yorkshire, UK, 10 out of 10. Yorkshire represent! Yes! Hey up, Robert. How's it going, mate? I love it when I find out where you guys are watching from, yeah, right? But, oh my goodness, when someone turns around and says that they're actually a Yorkshire lad or lass and they're watching from Yorkshire, it's like, yes, Yorkshire represent. I love it. It always makes me smile. It really, really does. Tracy Floyd says he should be sacked. Yeah. Lee Gates says Khan needs to resign now. He needs to resign like freaking yesterday as far as I'm concerned. Crag says Susan Hall is awesome. Yeah, she's like one of my favourite councillors. It's a shame she's a Conservative, but you know what? We all have our downfalls, okay, guys? Fair play to her, though. Fair play to her. Let's see. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Vicky Bushnell, here we go. I'm from Yorkshire born and bred here too, honey. Hey, Yorkshire represent! I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes. With that being said, guys, let's dive into the third topic for today's live stream because, yeah, Starmer is toast. Starmer has a big, major £730,000 problem that is eclipsing Three Pads Rayner. What the deuce is going on? Let's jump into it right now. Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimers. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it first and foremost with this clip right here, because I bet that these words are now coming back to haunt two-tier Keir.
It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head. It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head. It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head.
Yes, indeed, the fish does rot from the head. And two-tier Keir, his is the head-rotting fish in this Labour dictatorship. And yes, as Keir Starmer's fish head continues to rot into oblivion, it has been scandal after scandal, as Tory chairman Kevin Hollinrake is saying right here.
We've seen scandal after scandal, as you say, even recently Angela Rayner, which we exposed her wrongdoing, Peter Mandelson with his Epstein relationship, and now we're seeing this donation scandal, and it is a scandal. You cannot take donations from sources without declaring them to the Electoral Commission and then to the parliamentary authorities. This is wrong. It is clear what has happened. It needs to be investigated, and if found guilty, sanctions imposed.
Yeah. And what do you think that the Standards Commission and the Electoral Commission will do about your letter? Will they get straight to it? I mean, will they take months and months to look at this?
Well, we've seen previous investigations, particularly the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner can act very quickly. And again, the Electoral Commission, this evidence is very clear. And the point with this is the previous excuses for non-declaration of these donations was admin error. This email that we have got, that we provided to the Electoral Commission, says very clearly this was a deliberate cover-up. It should not take long at all to reinvestigate this and then take forward any action that needs to be taken. And potentially the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner can impose a suspension, of course, of a Member of Parliament, which Keir Starmer is, and that could lead to a recall petition potentially and a re-election, a by-election in his constituency. So that would be the end of the Prime Minister, I think. We've seen.
That would be the end of two-tier Keir indeed. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what's actually happened here, how two-tier Keir now has a £730,000 problem on his desk right now, okay? Here is the article in question, exclusive. So this was broken by the Daily Mail, okay? Starmer's chief of staff and 700k admin error. Bombshell leaked email shows top Labour lawyer advised Prime Minister's aide Morgan McSweeney to describe the £700,000 in hidden donations as a mistake. So here, a top Labour lawyer advised Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff to describe £740,000 in hidden donations as, quote, an admin error. A leaked email explains. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. How can you say that? Oh yeah. £740,000 that we didn't declare. Yeah, that was just an admin error. Major big admin error that is. What the hell? So, the crisis engulfing Morgan McSweeney deepened after the bombshell email shed new light on a notorious episode in which his think tank was fined in 2021 for 20 breaches of electoral law involving undeclared donations. This isn't even the first time this mofo's done it. You can't turn around and say, oh, it was just an admin mistake. It was a one-off. Whoops, sorry. No, he's got done multiple times doing this bullshit. Multiple times. The email from the lawyer advised Mr. McSweeney to drop his unsubstantiated claim that he had not been told. Sorry. The email from the lawyer advised Mr. McSweeney, when I could get my teeth back in, to drop his unsubstantiated claim that he had been told donations totalling £739,492 to Labour together did not have to be declared. It warned him that unless he could back up the claim with evidence, it risked antagonising the Electoral Commission, which was investigating the scandal. It told him instead to try to pass the episode off as a simple admin error, guys. Just a simple admin error. The email, seen by the Daily Mail, was published in full on Tuesday night by the Conservatives, who stepped up calls for the police to investigate the affair. Tory party chairman Kevin Hollinrake said the evidence is clear. Morgan McSweeney has been caught red-handed hiding hundreds of thousands of pounds, which helped install Keir Starmer as Labour leader. So this was all donated and not declared during the period where they were trying to get rid of the last Labour leader before two-tier Keir. And I won't even say his name because I think he's an absolute disgrace to the UK and the British public. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't represent the British public. He represents far, far away lands, but not here. They then say this latest scandal at the very heart of government is incredibly serious and potentially criminal, yet Keir Starmer has expressed his full confidence in his Chief of Staff, once again demonstrating his poor judgment and raising serious questions about his integrity and honesty. Yeah, I remember the last time he expressed full confidence in a member of his government. Yeah, it was, who was it again? Yeah, that US ambassador, that ex-US ambassador now, where he had links to Epstein and was a really good mate of Epstein, this, that, and the other. And even when that all came out, oh, what did Keir Starmer say again? Oh, yeah, it was, I have full confidence in him. I have full confidence in, oh, yeah, what was it? Peter Mandelson, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. I have full confidence in Peter Mandelson. A day later, he was gone. Now we're seeing it again. Oh, I have full confidence in my Chief of Staff. Even though he didn't declare the £740,000 in donations to Labour Together to help install me as the newest Labour leader, because it was just an admin error, that's all. But I still have full confidence in my Chief of Staff. Nearly £750,000 was donated that wasn't declared. And you're turning around and saying you still have full confidence in your Chief of Staff. Piss off. Are you kidding me? If it was the other way around, Keir Starmer would be asking for their heads on a platter. I only think it is right that we do the same for him. We need his head on a platter. He needs to resign. The buck stops with him. As he said right at the beginning, the fish does rot from the head. Two-tier Keir is the head rotting fish in this Labour dictatorship. He needs to go. The whole lot of them need to go. They're all corrupt. They're every single one of them. It's been scandal after scandal after scandal. Mandelson. Three Pads Rayner. More recent ones. Now you've got the Chief of Staff and Starmer's £740,000 problem. How two-tier Keir thinks that him and his Labour dictatorship can survive another 4 more years is beyond me. We're having an emergency general election before then. The sooner the better. Now, Conservative MP Kevin Hollinrake actually provides a timeline as to what has happened here. So let's break this down even further. So Starmer's rise to number 10 was secretly bankrolled, and it was secretly bankrolled because that 740 grand was not declared. Oh yeah, he was secretly bankrolled. His chief of staff hid £739,000 of donations, broke Electoral Commission rules and plotted to lie it off as an admin error. Starmer took the benefit but never declared it. So in early 2018, the Electoral Commission told Morgan McSweeney directly, LT as a members association needed to continue to register donations. He knew the rules. He knew the rules. So he can't turn around and say, oh, sorry, a little bit ignorant here. I didn't know that you had to declare that amount. I didn't know we had to declare that. No. He knew the rules. He knew. Early 2018, instead of complying, McSweeney stopped declaring donations. Labour's lawyer later admitted the legislation is clear that notwithstanding, LT should have reported. And then between 2018 and 2020, nearly £739,492 in undeclared cash secretly funded Labour Together's operations. Polling, staffing, campaigning from LT directly fuelled Keir Starmer's leadership campaign. And yeah, it secretly fuelled Keir Starmer's campaign. Because again, this was an amount that wasn't even declared. So before we go any further with this timeline, I've got a question to ask for a friend here. Did Keir Starmer become leader of the Labour Party and then by extension, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom fraudulently? I'm just asking for a friend here. But with him not declaring the nearly £740,000 in donations that helped him to be installed as Labour leader, and by extension then the Prime Minister of the UK, did he fraudulently make his way to become Labour leader and therefore by extension fraudulently become our Prime Minister? I'm just asking for a friend. What do you guys think? Now, let's get on to the rest of this timeline. So, August 2018, £12,500 donation from Trevor Chin and others deliberately hidden. Why? Lawyer explains they, quote, were aware of the growing anti-Semitism in the party and sought to protect Trevor as donor and director. The motivation, high donors and bankroll Starmer's rise. Using the guise of anti-Semitism. Oh, come on. Come on. February 2021, when exposed, Labour's lawyer proposed the cover-up. We've tried to wrinkle out of the EC without raising their suspicions. This is the Electoral Commission. So we've tried to wrinkle out of the Electoral Commission without raising their suspicions. In other words, yeah, we've tried to duck and dive. We've tried to, with intent, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, defraud the Electoral Commission. Defraud any investigation the Electoral Commission may have had in this situation. They've tried to duck and dive and weave. instead of fully cooperating with the Electoral Commission and fully abiding by the rules of the Electoral Commission. You got it there in black and white. We have tried to wrinkle out of the Electoral Commission without raising their suspicions. Perhaps best to base our case as admin error. So let's just continue to wrinkle out the Electoral Commission even further. Duck, dive, weave, dodge. And not be truthful, not be honest, not follow the rules, and just blame it on an admin error. Even though they admitted earlier on that they knew that not declaring that money was against the Electoral Commission and the rules, and that they should have declared it in the first place. The chain is undeniable. McSweeney knowingly broke the Electoral Commission rules. £739,000 hidden donations bankrolled Labour together. That work propped up Starmer's leadership bid. Starmer should have declared this support in kind in his register of interest, but did not. This wasn't admin error. It was a deliberate cover-up to secretly bankroll Starmer's rise all the way a Downing Street. And again, I go back to my previous question. Now that we know, right, that Starmer and his team didn't declare this nearly £740,000 in donation that helped him become Labour leader, then he became Labour leader by not following the Electoral Commission rules. Starmer became leader of the Labour Party without following to the letter the rules of the Electoral Commission. As such, if he didn't follow to the letter the rules of the Electoral Commission, him becoming Labour leader, did he do that fraudulently then? And by extension, by him becoming Labour leader, that then paved the way for him becoming Prime Minister. So if he fraudulently became Labour leader, does that by extension then mean that he also then fraudulently became Prime Minister? Again, I'm just asking for a friend here, but what do you guys think? Now, Tory MP, Alex Burghardt, well, yeah, he's accusing Starmer's chief of staff for breaking the law here. And so he's saying the following. That's a criminal offence. They deliberately broke the law. Check this clip out from Talk TV.
New information has come to light in the past few days that shows they probably deliberately withheld that information from the Electoral Commission. And that's a criminal offence. So the implication is that the Prime Minister's right-hand man broke the law, deliberately broke the law. But also, we've now discovered that the Prime Minister did not declare any of the services that he received from Labour Together to the parliamentary authorities, which is, again, an incredibly serious breach of protocol. So there are major questions hanging over both of these men this morning, over their judgment. And, this is just off the back of the whole Mandelson-Epstein saga.
Yeah. Now, there were many reactions. This is the one that I want to highlight, though, that I thought was quite pithy, really, in a way. This is from Burnside on X, at Burnside was Tosh, and they're saying the following. Wish I had an admin error that led me to banking £730,000. Normally it leads a fine from HMRC. Starmer is toast. Yeah, because if it was anyone else, we'd be crucified for nearly £750,000 not being declared. We'd be crucified for it. But Keir Starmer and his Labour dictatorship think that they can get away with this. No. I'm holding their feet to the fire on this one. And again, this to me raises a significant question as to the legitimacy now of Keir Starmer and the role that he's in. Because again, if they didn't follow the Electoral Commission's rules. They didn't declare this nearly £750,000. So, as such, if they're not declaring that, right, then him becoming leader of the Labour Party was done when he didn't follow the rules of the Electoral Commission in the first place to the letter. As such, if he didn't follow the rules to the letter of the Electoral Commission, then him being made leader of the Labour Party may have been done fraudulently as a result. And by extension, because then he became leader of the Labour Party, that paved the way then for him to then become Prime Minister of the UK. In that scenario, did he then also, by extension, commit fraud that would allow him to become Prime Minister of the UK? His whole legitimacy is called into question now, just as the Prime Minister in the first place. Is he legitimately our Prime Minister when his rise to that role was done illegally and fraudulently? What they did was illegal. They should have declared that money. They didn't. They then tried to defraud the Electoral Commission by turning around and saying, yeah, we knew the rules. We ignored it all the same. We've now been caught out. So do you know what? Let's just put it to admin error. Yeah. If his rise to the Prime Minister's role involved fraud, breaking the law, then he shouldn't be our Prime Minister, right? I'm just asking for a friend here. Now, for those watching live, stay exactly where you guys are. I'm not done with you guys yet. We're going to get on to the next topic in a moment. If you haven't done so already, though, do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on Political Nerds. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow me at Steph Alter Nerd. Like, share. If you're watching on the replay, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's on this one. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the third topic for today's live stream. We're going to get on to the fourth one in a moment, you guys, because, yeah, I'm seeing the clips. You guys are DMing me. My notifications have absolutely popped off on this one. President Trump is dropping truth bombs all over the UN right now. I've seen the clips. It's absolutely freaking glorious to see. So I'm going to share it all with you guys and offer my commentary. Let's see what you guys are saying, though, in the live chat in the meantime. So let's have a gander at that. Let's see. Wee Fat Shug says, of course nothing will happen. Lots of stern words before it's forgotten like every other scandal. Potentially. But what's on our side here, as far as I'm concerned, is that this is not a one-off scandal. It's scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And so the amount of scandals that's going on at the moment in two-tier Keir's Labour dictatorship, just the amount of those scandals enough should be all that's required for them to be absolutely destroyed and for us to get an emergency general election. So the more we make, quite rightly as far as I'm concerned, and appropriately, a stink up about this scandal, the better. The better, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone needs to be talking about this. Not enough people are, I don't think. It's as if it's trying to be, like, brushed under the rug. No, I'm not going to allow that to happen. Not a chance. Not on this channel. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Crispin Daesh says, I agree he needs to go. Yes, Starmer needs to go. James Mortimer says, I love bacon, Aussie here. Hey! Who else loves bacon? We were asking that question at the beginning of this Red Alert broadcast live stream. Who loves bacon? I love bacon. Do you love bacon? Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm just asking for a friend. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. I'm just asking for a friend. Craig says, hopefully this could finish Starmer. There's going to be a final nail in the coffin for him. Could this be it? Because let's put it this way. Three Pads Rayner got kicked out and got fired because of her financial misdealings. This is another financial misdealing. But it's even more egregious because it's a financial misdealing that allowed Keir Starmer to become leader of the Labour Party, then therefore Prime Minister of the UK. And he got to all of that by breaking the rules, breaking the law, and being fraudulent. So if that's the case, then his question of legitimacy to hold the Prime Minister role in the first place is called into question. Let's put it this way to you, okay, guys? Okay. Whatever job you think of in your head, right? You go to an interview and you want this particular job and you lie. Yeah? You lie to get this job and you get the job. You're then caught out that you lied in your interview. Generally, what happens? You get sacked. You get sacked. Well, this is the thing. Starmer and his team have just been caught lying as to the mechanics as to how Starmer was elected to Labour leader in the first place and then a hop, skip and jump away to Prime Minister. What do you think should happen to him? Same thing, shouldn't he be sacked as well? And the whole Labour dictatorship sacked? And start afresh? With another party that hasn't broken the rules, that hasn't broken the law, that's kept within the confines of the Electoral Commission, that's declared absolutely everything? I don't think that's radical to say out loud, do you? Negu Mums, I'd truly appreciate if Steph allowed me to do an interview over the phone. I'd be truly grateful and I've been let down. Okay, Negu Mums. My email's in the description bar below, stephthealternerd@gmail.com. You can also message me over on X @StephAlternerd. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to be interviewed on? And yeah, we'll see what happens, okay? Not promising anything, but we'll see what happens, okay? Let's see what else you guys are saying. Misha's like, hail Ezra for all the bacon. Yes! Yes! Who else likes bacon? Head Mod, Project Metal Music loves bacon. Yes! Negu Mums loves bacon. Yes! Mike Drop Lisa's like, I want a bacon butty now. Do you know what? Me too. Me too. I want a bacon butty now. Ooh, pigs in blankets. Dude, it's been a while since I've had some pigs in blankets. I need to so get that done. It is unreal. On that bombshell, let's drop into the final topic for today's Red Alert broadcast because, yeah, President Trump is dropping truth bombs all over the UN right now, and it's glorious to see. So let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimers. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, with the address to the UN that is going absolutely viral right now. And it's President Trump, and he's addressing the UN, and he had a few choice words to say. This is the first one that's getting the majority of the coverage. So here we go.
Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed. So changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. Europe is...
Now, let me ask you guys a question here, okay? Anything that President Trump said there in that first clip that I've just shown you, can you disagree with him? I know I don't. But guess who does disagree with him? Of course, it's Sadiq Khan himself. And he had to come out with the usual tropes, right? Calling Trump racist and Islamophobic. There was nothing racist and Islamophobic about what President Trump said. He just said what everyone else can freaking see what's happening in London. Again, this is an example, right, of someone turning around, yeah, and saying 2 + 2 = 5. Trust me, bro. I wouldn't trust Sadiq Khan as far as I could freaking throw him. And with my strength at the moment, it's not that freaking far. But seriously, of course he would come out with the usual tropes. Oh, Trump said hurty words against me. He's racist. He's Islamophobic. No, he's not. No, he's not. Sharia law is coming into the UK. I've just literally in this same Red Alert broadcast a few stories ago just explained to you a situation where a protester burned in public a copy of the Quran. And an Islamic attacker went into their house, came out with a knife, went up to said protester and attacked him with the knife whilst giving threats to kill that protester. The protester's in hiding. The Islamic attacker is not behind bars. Is walking free right now. Because the judge accepted his defense of, well, I was only protecting my religion. If it was the other way around, if it was someone of Islamic faith burning the Christian Bible, and a white British male went up with a knife and attacked him with said knife, in addition threatening to kill him, you think that British lad would be walking free right now with a suspended sentence? Not a freaking chance in hell. So yeah, Sharia law is eking its way into the UK, into the capital. Absolutely, I fully believe that. Anyone that says that's not an example of Islamic blasphemy laws coming into the back door, through the back door into UK, again, you need your heads examining. You really, really do. Sadiq Khan, biggest one of all, needs his heads examining because Trump's criticism of London is absolutely correct. But again, instead of, right, Sadiq Khan turning around and saying, you know what, Trump is absolutely incorrect, and providing evidence and examples to counter Trump's argument, instead, Sadiq Khan goes towards ad hominem attacks, calling him racist and Islamophobic. And to me, anyone that's watched on this channel any of my videos where I give you an amateur linguistic analysis of what these mofos say, right? You'll have heard me say this before, which is when anyone on the opposite side resorts to ad hominem attacks and starts attacking you and your character rather than counter your argument with evidence and facts and all that lot, as soon as they grasp for ad hominem attacks, it shows they don't have a leg to stand on. They don't. They don't. So let's get on to the second clip that I want to show of Trump's address to the UN, because, guys, he said even more.
Had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars. But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action. Now, after ending all of these wars
And if you thought he was finished, not a chance. Here's the third clip that I want to show you guys right here.
the entire globalist concept of asking successful industrialized nations to inflict pain on themselves and radically disrupt their entire societies must be rejected completely and totally, and it must be immediate. That's why in America I withdrew from the fake Paris Climate Accord, where, by the way, America was paying so much more than every country. Others weren't paying. China didn't have to pay until 2030. Russia was given an old standard that was easy to meet, a 1990 standard. But for the United States, we're supposed to pay like $1 trillion. And I said, this is another scam. The fact is, the United States has been taken advantage of by the world for many, many years, but not any longer, as you probably noticed. I unleashed massive energy production and signed historic executive orders to hunt for oil, but we don't have to do much hunting because we have the most oil of any nation anywhere, oil and gas in the world. And if you add coal, we have the most of any nation in the world. Clean, I call it clean, beautiful coal. You can do things today with coal that you couldn't have done 10 years ago, 15 years. So I have a little standing order in the White House. Never use the word coal, only use the words clean, beautiful coal. Sounds much better, doesn't it? But we stand ready to provide any country with abundant, affordable energy supplies if you need them, when most of you do. We're proudly exporting energy all over the world. We're now the largest exporter.
One thing that kind of sprung to mind as I was watching, like, towards the end of that clip is that Ed Miliband must have been absolutely shizzing cats. Hearing that bit at the end where President Trump is describing coal as clean, beautiful coal. Oh, can you imagine it? Ed Miliband's eyes just popping out, being like, he said what? Oh my goodness. Now, my favourite MP right now, Rupert Lowe, responded saying he's right. Sharing this article saying that the Trump is telling the UN that your countries are going to hell over migration. Guess what? The UK is going to hell in a handbasket over illegal immigration. We are. Tell me how Trump is being racist and Islamophobic here. He's not. He's not. He's saying the truth of the matter, the reality of the situation. We all see the statistics, right? 20 years ago, the amount of rapes, I'm paraphrasing here, but like 4,000, right? Just paraphrasing, yeah? Fast forward to present, a shiz ton more, 70, 80,000. I wonder what's the difference between then and now? Oh yeah, illegal immigration and the type of people that are coming into this country, breaking into this country. So, yeah, our country is going to hell over illegal immigration. What is so racist and Islamophobic about that? It's not racist. It's not Islamophobic. But again, those that turn to those ad hominem attacks, it exposes them because it shows they don't have a leg to stand on. It shows that they don't actually have any reasoned debate to fall back on, to defend themselves with. So the only thing that they can do, the only thing that they're left to do is attack the character of the person that's beating them in the debate, which in this case, as far as I'm concerned, is President Donald Trump. Think about it this way. Illegal immigration, right, in the UK, do you think we would have as many problems as we do right now if all the boats were stopped and we deported every single one of those legal immigrants back to where they came from? I don't think so, do you? I don't think we'd have as many problems then. Is that racist and Islamophobic to say? No, it's just the facts of the freaking matter. Every single day, we are getting headline after headline after headline. Illegal immigrant arrested for raping little girl. Illegal immigrant arrested for this. Illegal immigrant arrested for that. Blah, 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 blah. Illegal immigrant breaking into schools. That's a new one. Now that our school year has started here in the UK, we're seeing reports these illegal immigrants think that it's absolutely fine and dandy just to walk into primary schools and break in. To the point then where those schools are then on lockdown. The kids are scared. So spare me for anyone turning around and saying you're racist and Islamophobic for saying it. No. Our country, the UK, is going to hell over illegal immigration, and we need to save our country in a peaceful, democratic way. But we do need to save our country. Because every single day, it is getting worse and worse and worse. And furthermore, our government has literally admitted that the illegal immigrants have more rights than us British natives. If that's not an example of our country going to hell over illegal immigration, then what is? What is? I'm going to leave you for this particular segment with the funniest reaction that I saw on X that I think even Trump would actually appreciate here. All right. And it's this. So this was shared on X by Smile Please at smile_1 please. And do you know what? I'd buy this t-shirt. I would so buy this t-shirt. President Trump needs to get in on this now. I went to the UN and all I got was a broken escalator and teleprompter. Yes. Yes. This is a thing, right? Speaking of the UN, okay. So for those that don't know, I do have a degree in international relations and security studies. I studied conflict resolution for 3 years. I studied ethics, philosophy, and I also studied international terrorism. Of course, amongst that, I am going to be, reading into the United Nations, yeah? When the United Nations was first set up, fair enough, right? The problem is that it's evolved into an organisation that is unrecognisable now to what it first was. The United Nations, for me, is not fit for purpose anymore. It's not fit for purpose anymore. Like President Trump said, where were the United Nations when he was sorting out peace treaties for various countries around the world that are still in war right now? Where were they? Where was one call from the United Nations to help? Nowhere to be seen. All he got in the end was a broken escalator and freaking teleprompter from him. President Donald Trump has just proven how inept the United Nations really is. They're useless. Just like the European Court of Human Rights, it's useless. The European Court of Human Rights, when it was first set up, again, it was great. It had a purpose that made sense. The problem is that the world has evolved. The European Court of Human Rights hasn't. And so the European Court of Human Rights is allowing things now that it wouldn't have allowed back in the day. Guaranteed. Same thing with the United Nations now. Let me put it this way to you. They're all about Gaza and Palestine, right? Oh, the poor people in Gaza, the poor people in Palestine, blah, 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 right? Okay, yeah, fine. Whatever, you do you. Okay, how about all the Christians that are being persecuted in Syria? How about all the Christians being persecuted and killed in Africa? Let me put it even more succinctly. How about the Christian genocide that is happening in this world right now at the hands of Islamist extremists? Where's the UN? Where's their outrage? Where are the calls to boycott those countries? To put more sanctions on them? Where's the calls to boycott any company affiliated with those countries, right? Oh, yeah. No, sorry, it's crickets, isn't it? There's no outrage, there's no outcry at the current and sustained Christian genocide that's happening in this world at the moment at the hands of Islamist extremists. But they're all in uproar as to what's going on in Gaza and Palestine. That, ladies and gentlemen, is known as selective freaking outrage for political means and political gains. Why are they outraged and publicly outraged as to what's going on in Gaza and Palestine? But it's all crickets and silence as to what's going on in the world when it comes to the Christian genocide at the hands of Islamist extremists. Please, answer me that. The UN is a kangaroo court. at this point. The UN, as far as I'm concerned, really is not to be taken seriously. And the proof for it not to be taken seriously, you guys? Well, Donald Trump himself, in each of these clips, has shown that, yeah, the UN should not be taken seriously at all. Because all President Trump got at the end of it from the UN was a broken escalator and a teleprompter. They are a joke. They are laughable. It is a kangaroo court. And Trump's just exposed them for it all. With that being said, those watching live, whether on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on Political Nerds on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Steph Alter Nerd so we can continue to lift one finger up to the establishment. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's, if you are watching on the replay. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the fourth topic for today's Red Alert broadcast. Let's see what you guys are saying. Incorruptible, thank you so much for that very, very kind $5 donation. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much. Anyone that is able to send a super chat my way or become a member on this channel, special thank you to you guys for helping even more with this channel and allowing me to be able to continue with this work. Speaking truth to power, lifting one finger up to the establishment, all that malarkey. You guys definitely help to allow me to do this pretty much every single day. So thank you so much for that, you guys. Also as well, thank you so much to MPNG Creed Menace for the £3 super chat earlier on, and Mr. Green Bob's fist bump. Appreciate your fears. Thank you so much. Also as well, MPNG Creed Menace, thank you so much for this super chat, saying, make bacon great again. Cancel all bacon haters. Yes. Do you know what? I have this idea of doing a t-shirt, releasing it on my merch store, stephthealternerd.com, and it just says, I love bacon. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Stay tuned, guys. I am going to release a t-shirt saying, I love bacon. That's it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Yes. Chris Mills, thank you so much for the £5 super chat, saying Ed Miliband choked on his bacon sandwich. Yeah. Oh my goodness, my eyes are watering with that one, mate. Oh my goodness, you just knocked that one out of the park. Snaps and claps for that one. Snaps and claps for that one, indeed. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. Oh, Debbie, thank you very much for this very kind comment. As I gain my composure. I think you're great, Steph. No BS, straight talking gal. Can someone tell me what country we're in if we live in the United Kingdom? I'm so confused. You see, there you go. I don't live in Iraq. I don't live in Afghanistan. I don't live in Saudi Arabia. I live in the UK. And last I heard, we don't do Sharia law here. Or we're not supposed to anyway. Let's put it that way. Fight for Britain says, excellent, an appropriate degree under the circumstances. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. My degree is laid dormant now for about 20 years nearly. The reason why I got that degree was I was aiming to, I know I'm better now, don't get me wrong, but at the time, I didn't know any better. But I was aiming to get into the police force, do my 2 years probation, and then from there, go into the counter-terrorism unit and analyse the intelligence coming through. So I wanted to become an intelligence analyst, basically, for the counter-terrorism unit. The counter-terrorism unit at the time, I don't know what it's like now, but they only recruited from within. So you had to be a police officer first and do your 2 years probation. With my degree, though, after 2 years, I'd be fast-tracked. That was the plan all along with my degree and where I wanted to go with life. But then my pancreas decided that, it had other plans for me. And so I developed a pancreatitis disease. And so physically at this point, I wouldn't be able to pass the physical test to be able to get into the police force at this point. So I had to, at that stage, back then, abandon my plan to become an intelligence and analyst and find a different way in life. And so I went into the financial industry, dealing with investments, then mortgage arrears. Then I went into complaints and compliance for an insurance broker. And somehow YouTube just came into my life and it was very accidental. I didn't one day wake up and be like, you know what? I want to be a YouTube content creator. It didn't happen that way. It just happened by accident. I just fell into it. I always thank my big brother, Annie Signor, over on Popcorn Planet. He was the one that introduced me to this world in the first place. And I love him very dearly. But yeah, this all happened by accident. And then towards the end of last year, as I was planning like my second channel and going political, I was like, you know what? It is time. It is time to reignite, resuscitate my degree and use the knowledge that I learned during my university course and put it to some good use. Actually do something with it finally. Enter political nerds into the chat. So yeah, I'm very happy that I'm able to now actually utilize my degree for something at the very least, and something that I actually really do properly like believe in, and I'm like all in on as well. So yeah, that makes it even better for me. Even better for me. Let's see what else you guys are saying. What's going on? The Wheel of Bacon moment has been born. Political nerds, this could go viral. Best believe the next Red Alert broadcast, I am absolutely launching I Love Bacon t-shirts. It's happening. It is happening, guys. Denise Glaffy, thank you so much for the £5 super chat saying well done with all you do. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much to everyone that is able to send me a super chat, because it allows me to continue with this channel, to do what I'm doing full time with Political Nerds. So if you do believe in my mission here, what I'm saying, the content that I'm bringing you, then only if you can, of course, please do consider sending a couple of pounds my way. That'll help me be able to continue doing what I'm doing for you right now on this channel. I've been investing a lot into this channel recently. You guys will have seen the updates in the community posts. So, you know, all the investment into the vlogging equipment that I then used a couple of weeks ago for the United Kingdom Free Speech Rally. Over the last 24 hours, I bought a new webcam for the studio. So, yeah, you guys, every little bit definitely does help. And it not only helps me continue to do what I'm doing for you guys for this channel, speaking out, middle finger to the establishment kind of situation, but it also helps me to reinvest back into this channel and studio as well, so I can improve the content for you guys, improve the content, improve the experience, improve the channel, improve our community. So yeah, special thank you to everyone that is able to send super chats my way. And if you can, please do consider sending a couple of pounds my way, only if you can, of course, guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying before I end today's live stream. John Dingle says, greetings from Skipton, young lady. Hey up, John from Skipton. How's it going, mate? I love going to Skipton, you know. I really, really do. What I like to do is I like to take the train to Skipton with my bike, and then from there, I like to go on my bike and go right up into Yorkshire Dales. Go past Bolton Abbey, go all the way up to Grassington, and then come all the way down back to Skipton. I love doing that route. I love doing that route. So yeah, shout out for Yorkshire and Skipton there. Yorkshire represent. I love it. Deborah Hughes, thank you so much for becoming a political warrior. Thank you so much. Anyone that becomes a member, my goodness, special thank yous to you as well, because you guys also help with me being able to continue to do this content, continue with this channel, and allow me to reinvest back into this channel and this studio as well. So thank you so much to you guys as well for doing that. James Mortimer says, I love your energy. Me too. And you know what? The fun's not stopping. Oh, no. So for those that don't know, I do have a second channel called Steph the Alternate. And in about an hour and 40 minutes, I'm doing a live stream over there as well with some of your favourite YouTubers in the scene. We've got the Sidley Twins, we've got Royal Daily Tea, we've got Resting Dolphins, we've got Revealing the Narc, we've got Sue Smith, and of course we've got me as well. And yeah, Meghan Markle trembles as the horsemen of the Megpocalypse unite. Oh, we are gonna have some fun over there. So for those watching live, stay exactly where you are on YouTube, because you're going to be redirected to this live stream that's going to be starting in just over an hour and 40 minutes-ish. So you love me energy, or you're going to love it over here as well. I promise you that right now. We're going to have so much more fun. Jane is like, bacon for PM. Yes. Baz from Leeds! Hey up, Baz from Leeds, another Yorkshire represent. How's it going? Thank you so much. John Dingle says, pop in for a bacon butty and pork pie anytime, lass. Oh, thank you, John. Do you have like, when you say pop in for a bacon butty and pork pie anytime, lass, do you have like a shop where you sell these things in Skipton? Because if so, dude, I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah. I'll have a bacon butty and pork pie from your shop if you've got one. Dude, I'm there for it already if that's the case. Let me know, John. Let me know. Francis Bacon for PM. Yes. Scotland loves bacon. Yes. Yorkshire loves bacon. I love bacon. You love bacon. We all love bacon. Yes. I love it. Puritan says, a bacon string vest. Oh, my goodness. That would solve a few problems, wouldn't it, actually, to be fair, right? If I wore a bacon string vest, that would probably be better protection than any weapon I could get my hands on, right? Oh. Do you know what? Sometimes if you didn't laugh, you'd freaking cry. my goodness. Crag says, Steph, watching you is better than watching BS on the TV. Oh, cheers, mate. Oh, that's cool. Appreciate that. Cheers, dude. In the words of Tesco's, every little helps. Exactly, Crispin. Every little helps, guys. Let's see. Negu Mum says, I'd buy that t-shirt. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. The next Red Alert broadcast, I will be launching the I Love Bacon t-shirt. Hands down. That is what's happening. Incorruptible says, Steph is so down to earth. Aww. Steph is so down to earth and pure. Such a refreshing change. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the thing. For me, yeah. Okay. I can't be anyone else but me. It takes all my energy and time being me. You think I can be bothered to pretend to be someone else? I can't be arsed with that. I am who I am. You get what you get. And that's pretty much the situation there. And yeah, I am going to say it as it is as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of watching mainstream media and the politicians and the journalists in their pocket trying to gaslight us saying 2 + 2 = 5. Guess what, morons? Retake your maths GCSE because actually 2 + 2 = 4, you mofos. And you won't have me believing anything else but. Oh, you didn't have to send another super chat for that, John. But thank you anyway, saying, no, I'm a welder and have a business here. Oh, okay. But opposite is a brilliant baker's shop that does great bacon butties, pies and cakes. I am open 7 days. All right. Unless you want to let me know in the live chat. Instead, John, you can DM me on let me say again. You can DM me on X at Steph Alternerd, your business and the baker's shop. Or you can email me, stephthealternerd@gmail.com, your business and the baker's shop that you're talking about here in Skipton. I'd love to visit. I'd love to visit and say hi. Why not? Why not, right, John? Let me know, mate. Let me know. Andy calls bacon. Yes. Vicky Bushnell says, what you see is what you get with us Yorkshire peeps. Booyah. Booyah. And Debbie Hughes is just like, give me the pig. I like that one as well. Just give me the damn pig. Yep. I like that too. And Deborah, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat sticker and the ginger doggy. Yay, the ginger doggy. Appreciate it. Jane says, the bacon perfume out soon. Ooh, that would be another one. Okay, I'm writing these down, guys. I'm going to do like a full-on like bacon, what would you call it? The bacon range. The bacon range. Here we go, guys. All right. So, de bacon perfume. I like that one. I like bacon. Oh, I love bacon. I love bacon. That's another one. What other t-shirts would you like to see on the stephthealternerd.com merch site? Let me know. Because I like that one. The Eau de Bacon perfume. That's a cool one. Let's see what else. Where was the other one? Give me the pig. I just like that one. From Deborah Hughes. Give me the pig. I like that one. Give me the pig. The bacon range. Exactly, the bacon range. Make bacon great again. Mic drop Lisa. Yes. Make bacon great again. Yes. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, let's see. John says, email got shadow banned off list and don't do X. Okay. Fair enough. Maybe one day I might just randomly walk in and find you. And the pork pie shop you were talking about opposite. Maybe. Craig Mawson. Oh, thank you. Steph, you did awesome with Andy on Popcorn Palace last night. Yes. This is the thing, right? Andy and I, he's still my big brother. I'm still his little sister. Even though I'm not on his channel as much as I used to be, it doesn't mean that we've fallen out or there's any, like, drama or anything. It's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite, really, to be fair. So, yeah, but hopefully you'll be seeing me more over that side of things. We are aiming to do, like, once a week on Popcorn Palace, an Andy and Steph kind of episode, which would be really, really fun. So watch this space. Watch this space. Let's see. Save our bacon. Yes! Save our bacon. Yes. Oh my goodness, you guys are great with the suggestions. I love it. I've got a lot to work with now, guys. So with that being said, remember the after party continues over on my other channel, Steph the Alternate, which will be starting in about an hour and a half's time, and we're gonna have so much fun with some of your favorite creators in the scene. Sidley Twins, Resting Dollface, Royal Daily Tea, Sue Smith, and revealing the narc. Yes, Meghan Markle trembles as the horsemen of the Megpocalypse unite. And if you're wondering who the horsemen of the Megpocalypse is, it's us. It's us. Screw it. I'm gonna take that title for us. I'm gonna claim it for us. With that being said, on that bombshell, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's Red Alert broadcast live. I think I'm going to be doing many more of these. I really am. I'm having so much fun going live on this channel. It's insane. So thank you so much to everyone that joined me live here on YouTube or on X. Thank you so much to everyone that's kept me company in the live chat, either here on YouTube or on X. You guys are amazing. Special thank you to everyone that's been able to send a super chat sticker, or become a member on this channel. You guys go that extra mile to really help me be able to do this day in, day out for you guys and provide you with the content and the information you guys really need to know. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much to everyone that subscribed to this channel today, that's liked this live stream. Thank you also to everyone that's followed me today over on Steph Alternate on X. Appreciate all your faces. MPNG Creed Men is sneaking in there with that super chat right at the end. Says, let's create a bacon religion. And then James like, Church of Bacon. I like that. Church of Bacon. Added to the list. On that bombshell, I'll see you guys in an hour and a half over on my other channel, Steph the Alternate. Thank you so much for tuning into this Red Alert broadcast here on Political Nerds. Appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.